This week on Across the Arrowverse, core blimey governor, couple of Brits come aboard the Wave Rider. We're watching the first half of Season 4 of DC's Legends of Tomorrow. Hi everyone, and welcome to Across the Arrowverse. I'm Matthew Vose.
And I'm Catherine Vose.
So before we get started with this week's episode, we have a very exciting announcement. There are some changes coming to our Patreon, if you keep half an eye on it over the coming weeks. But we're going to be doing an exciting prize giveaway for merch, swag, stuff and things.
Hooray!
Catherine, do you want to tell our listeners what they will be able to win?
There will be some stickers. There will be some magnets and coasters.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes,
Stickers,
well
magnets,
done.
and coasters.
Stickers, magnets, and coasters.
Nice.
Yes.
Good
So
stuff.
we have some awesome Eloquent Gushing, PC deprived, show specific stuff. ATAV, I don't think we've done because we can't print our show because it's not our artwork.
Ooh.
Because we use
True.
the official stuff, so I'm a little wary of
True.
printing that into physical merch.
To be honest, I would rather have some Eloquent Gushing stuff or some PCD stuff. I'm going to be entering. Is that allowed?
Of course it's allowed.
Excellent.
Shall I tell you how you can enter?
Oh, please do.
Yes. There are 10 different... You can enter 10 times to win stuff.
Ooh.
We want to get the word out about our shows ahead of any exciting announcements that might be coming.
Yeah.
We would like to ask everyone if they can help to pass on about our shows by word of mouth, recommend us to other people, recommend us through reviews. So, 2 ways you can enter are by recommending us on Twitter. So, tweet at someone, at all of your listeners, say, hey, I listened to this show Across the Arrowverse, it's amazing, they're so much fun, please listen to them, hashtag ATAV. And the important bit is, use the hashtag.
Perfect.
And, recommend us as well, it's quite good as well, if you can, please, thank you. You can do that once per show, so you can do hashtag ATAV for our show, hashtag PC Deprived for Pop Culture Deprived, hashtag SF Pop for Southern Fried Pop Culture.
Nice.
Hashtag Worth the Calories for our Bake Off podcast. Worth
Yay,
the Calories.
coming soon.
Out now.
Out now.
Out now. Podcasting is time travel. And we also have a show called Desire Made Real about the discovery of witches,
Yay.
books and TV show.
Love
So
it.
use at Desire Made Real because that has its own Twitter account.
Perfect.
Special. So you can enter 5 times, different tweets, different shows, different hashtags, different ants, and you can review us. Go to Apple Podcasts, go to Stitcher, Google Podcast, your podcast of choice that allows you to rate and review. Give us a rating and a review. And drop us an email, drop us a screenshot, drop us something so that we know what your review is, and we can enter you, put you on the list, and enter you as well. And again, you can do that once per show, so we have the 5 different shows. And you can email us, podcast@eloquentgushing.com, or we're on Twitter, /eloquentgushing, Facebook, Instagram, it's all under Eloquent Gushing.
Nice. And you can drink your coffee with your Eloquent Gushing coaster.
Absolutely. With a sticker on your laptop.
Having got your milk out of your fridge, which has your magnet on the front of it.
Exactly. Exciting stuff. So we're going to be doing this for 2 weeks. So you have up until, I'm going to say the 14th. It might even be the 15th if we're feeling generous and don't get the list together in time. But you've got a couple of weeks. We'll remind you about it next week. And if you were looking for us yesterday, on the 2nd of September, we've changed schedule with Pop Culture Deprived. So in the same way the Arrowverse does during its crossover, it all mixes up. Pop Culture Deprived is doing Keanu Reeves month. So
Nice.
it released on the 2nd of September to celebrate Keanu Reeves' birthday.
And who wouldn't want to celebrate Keanu?
Exactly. The Keanu-essence, as I've heard it referred to. Happy birthday, Mr. Reeves, for yesterday. And welcome to this week's episode of Across the Arrowverse. This week, we are discussing episodes 1 through 8 of DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Season 4.
I am so happy. I am so happy.
We were pretty down about this show for parts of last year. And before.
It's always been so hit and miss.
Yeah.
And sometimes the miss is not just like a little miss.
Mhm.
It's an enormous blue Bebo jumping all over the ending miss. Sometimes it's been awful.
We wanted to get rid of characters. They're so problematic.
Yes.
Yeah. And now, Catherine, what do you think?
I love it. I want to watch the second half of the season right now, right now, right now.
Right?
Yeah.
Just instantly. They have suddenly figured out what this show can be, and it's just clicked. I think some of that is maybe they've reduced a couple of characters, because we've gotten rid of a number of characters now. Whilst expanding the ensemble. So there's characters who come in a little bit, and every so often, the Garys, the Mona, Ava, even Constantine himself, that keep it interesting without having to be like, right, this is the Ava episode, this is the Gary episode.
It's a little bit like when you're creating a manufactured boy band or something like that, and you just hadn't got the lineup right. I feel like they've kind of got the lineup right. And they've kind of worked out what to do with the Time Bureau and Gary and co. In a better way. They've even somehow fixed Meathead Nate and made Amaya cool. Yeah.
Well, okay, we're going to come to Amaya. We're going to discuss Amaya because there's all sorts of things to discuss there. The character I think they fixed that works for me utterly more than anything now is Sarah, the leader of this group. She has suddenly become fun.
Yep.
She's become pretty smart.
Yep.
She's kick-ass.
And she's a proper leader, right?
And she's an actual leader.
Yeah,
They've taken out all of the slight confidence stuff. They've taken out her very, very serious attitudes at times. She makes jokes. She's fun. She wants people to work together. She's like, okay, I need you two to work together, so this is how I'm going to try and approach it. And she's just doing a thing. I think she's accepted her place as the leader of a team. Yep. Because I think for a long time there's a lot of almost like an Arrow hangover, grumpy I'm alone-ness about Sarah, whereas now she's like, yeah, I do teamwork. Yeah. I'm a leader. I'm going to be accepting of the different foibles of the different people in my team. Yep. Let's move on. Yeah. And at the same time, so over and above what they fixed for the characters and the ensemble, they figured out the show. Yeah. They figured out this is literally Monster of the Week. Let's do different episodes with a bit of an overarching plot. Absolutely. This is probably the best Buffy that has been on TV since Buffy was on TV. Because this is now Buffy the Vampire Slayer at many levels. I can see that. Creatures it's dealing with, the silliness of it at times, the wild sci-fi analogies going on for real-world things. Well, sci-fi and fantasy. This is a new season of Buffy, almost. It's so close to it. It was really good. I don't think there was a single one out of the 8 that I didn't enjoy. No. On some level. I mean, some were better than others. Mm-hmm. But overall, we're talking a very high standard of enjoyability. Yeah, absolutely. So let's try and dig into some of these plots. The overarching plot is fantastical creatures coming out of hell because they opened the door and they defeated Malice in the last season. Yep. Which has led us into there is actually a demon who is coming after them. Or at least coming after John. Coming after John, yeah. They already set that up as almost a separate thing. Mm. Do you think John was buddying up with this lot because he knew this was going to combine somewhere? Their ability to take down monsters was going to help him in his... Oh, I don't know. Because I think he can be quite secretive and Machiavellian. And I don't 100% buy his story of, oh, I thought I'd join the gang to get over my guilt at sucking my boyfriend down to hell. Right. So possibly. I'm not 100% sure it would be a conscious decision because he seems to be a little bit convinced of his own power to deal with everything. Okay, that's fair. But the wider story of them hunting down these mythological type creatures, what have you thought of that? I thought it was a very good setup. Yeah, there's no other word. It's... Okay, we're going to be chasing a unicorn, but unicorns are evil now. Yeah. And we're going to be chasing a fairy godmother, but fairy godmothers are evil now. Great, that's a good twist. Absolutely. I thought the unicorn thing was hilarious. Yeah. And a good setup, because that came in episode 1, and that's the setup for what the season's going to be.
Yeah.
And then they've taken it to slightly different situations. The sort of Godzilla analogy was actually about a book.
Yes.
The puppet thing was kind of interesting, but actually a very small part of that episode, because they were doing the Big John story that episode.
Yep.
But they've done really interesting things with the monsters and kept it silly.
Absolutely. Fun. Just like, even when they're doing danger and serious, it's still entertaining and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked last time about Supergirl and how it's almost not episodic anymore. It is just one long thing that's going on. This is utterly episodic now. You could almost watch any of these out of sequence.
Yeah. Do you mind that? Because I know sometimes we've spoken about different TV series, and you've almost described them as episodic and Monster of the Week almost as a negative. Whereas for myself, I'm feeling it's working for Legends. Right. I don't know, what's your thought? Do you mind that it's episodic, or is it...
I don't think so, because there's enough of an overarching.
Right.
You know, things that happen in one episode impact other episodes. They return to ideas that they've had before. They return to items they've used, things that have happened. People can die or leave or move. It's not like the Next Generation big reset button at the end of every episode. It's not episodic in that way. It's episodic in that you could watch the episode and not feel like you're missing out.
Yep.
And not following along. But you can watch them all together and get something more from it, from the whole.
Yes.
So I think they're threading that needle very well.
Nice.
There's a lot of meta stuff, and I couldn't decide as I was watching how it worked for me, and I wasn't sure how it was going to work for you. The bit at the beginning where they make a joke about having ratings, and they don't get a high ratings, but they have some very dedicated fans. The bit in that last episode where they've had a call from Barry and Kara and so on, they say, annual crossover, hard pass.
That made me laugh.
You did enjoy it? Okay.
I did enjoy it. I liked that a lot. I didn't notice the ratings.
Okay.
Comment.
Right.
I didn't think of that really as being a breaking the fourth wall meta thing, but I can see it now you pointed out. Certainly the crossover thing, that made me laugh. I was like, I must remember to mention that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, but Matthew's clearly going to mention it, so it's all good. Yeah.
Because we did know up ahead that they weren't going to be part of the crossover this year, because it was introducing some new stuff that they weren't part of. So it was quite a nice way to handle it. I wasn't sure if they were going to mention it at all.
Fair enough.
That's quite a nice way to do it, to set it in amongst the coordinators of the chronology. What were they called?
Oh my god, they weren't the coordinators. Were they the coordinators?
It wasn't coordinators, it was the something.
Yeah. Oh, that was so funny.
That was very good. And then followed the Sirens of Space-Time.
Exactly.
Whatever they were called.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so absurd. Custodians of the chronology.
Custodians of the chronology.
Referred to as a possibly, are they poking fun at the Guardians of the Galaxy with that one? Which maybe.
Maybe. But I really appreciated their ability to laugh at themselves.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it's some of the films that we see and we go, you know, like Aquaman, for example. We loved Aquaman because they were just like, we know what we are.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing. And we are going to push it.
Absolutely. Jason Momoa, slow motion flipping his wet hair out of his face.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you like that? Remind me, was that okay for you?
No comment.
And this thing doing... And I thought it was weird. It was the three guys in this, Airwolf style squad together, typical 80s thing, and then for it to be the three girls in a
Charlie's Angels,
so
and Hank was a very good Charlie in that.
It worked, didn't it?
Yeah, very did, very did. It very much did.
It very did indeed. So we've enjoyed the monsters, we've enjoyed the silliness of it.
Yes.
Hank is one of our new characters.
Yes, I thought he was going to be awful at first, but actually, the whole watching Nate deal with his daddy issues and working through having Hank in there, and that's really working for me.
Yeah, it's helped Nate, I think, because we're now no longer focusing on Nate as problematic and dealing with other people. He's dealing with himself.
Yes,
and that's working better actually.
And he so far is not being written as the sexist meathead that he was in the previous season, or at least that I remember him as in previous seasons.
Yeah, so the show has gone almost full circle in how much it is, right, as much diversity as we can, as much diversity in sexuality as we can, in any representation. It is just throwing people at this now, and it's working. And they've just gone, this is going to be the one that I don't think there was a straight relationship in this first half of the season.
No, no, because there is Gary's crush on Mona.
True.
But she seems to have fallen for a magical creature
for the monster
instead.
dude, and he is very pansexual.
Yeah.
So,
yes. I really like the Constantine love affair.
I agree. That has come out of nowhere, given what we watched of his own show.
Yes.
He didn't do relationships well in that.
No, and I think in previous Legends of Tomorrow, he's very much been about the quick fling, including with Sarah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. But that feels very genuine.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was good. The actor playing, I'm going to say Hank? Nate's dad? Nate's dad? Did you spot him? Did you spot the reference to his previous thing?
No and no.
Okay. So Hank, Henry Haywood, is played by Thomas F. Wilson. He was Biff in Back to the Future.
Oh my... I can so picture it now.
And so they even did the thing of him like, let's act like a tree and leaf. And they are prepared to be utterly silly.
Yeah, loving it.
Which is great.
Really loving it.
Him and Ernest Hemingway...
That
was ridiculous,
funny.
but poking fun at that sort of toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
We must drink and go hunt and... Actually, no, let's go and work the puzzle and figure it out, yeah.
Yes, I quite like the cowboy song at the end. I must look that up. The cowboy song? When his guitar song to the Minotaur that finally sent the Minotaur to sleep. I like a bit of country and western.
Nice, yeah, that was good. And each episode has been slightly different because they've themed it on a sort of medieval, the fairy godmother. Then we've gone to Japan and done a Godzilla analogy.
Yeah.
We've done different sort of things. It must be quite good fun coming up with them.
Yeah, and I really like the way that they have framed the episode around the theme, like that they went full on into the Japanese for the Godzilla one, and I was just like, yes, this is fun. This is really. It made it feel even more of a quality package. Yes, that they've gone to that
Being
effort.
Prepared to do that.
Yeah.
And was that actually Japanese for DC's Legends of Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
It all worked.
And there's been a couple of moments where I've got comments here of it's very X-Files stroke Constantine. When they've done it properly, they have got good vibes of other shows that have done this sort of thing. Which, yes.
Yeah.
Great. They should do. They should absolutely aim for the better ones that have done it.
Did you spot, I think Mona, when she was talking about the most impressive women she's seen, and she said something, I've met Gillian Anderson at an X-Files meetup. Yeah.
Awesome.
I was just like,
like
yes.
Yeah, they know their stuff in the writing. Yeah.
Do you think, with Mona, they've gone, we're missing a Felicity or a Penelope Garcia from Criminal Minds. We're missing a quirky but intelligent character that stays at the base and does quirky but intelligent things.
Yes, I think there is a need for a character who can deal with the monster stuff. And I like the way they've gone with monsters of locking them up. Yeah, that's quite a nice way to go. As a character type, because I'm not sure that's where she's going to land in that sort of quirkiness. I think that's where they've started her as a lack of confidence, young intern type coming in. I see a little bit more like we've seen with the younger intern and reporters in Supergirl.
Yeah,
learning the thing before they become a full member of it.
I can see that.
I'm not sure quirky is where she's going to end up because Ray's the quirky one now.
Oh, this is true.
And that's the one I don't like because it's the obvious jokes of... Cause he's supposed to be super smart and just a very great guy, and he's become a bit dumb and annoying.
They've done a Ross with him.
Yeah, yes.
Basically.
Very much.
Yeah.
They're not sure what to do with that character, but he's still around, so let's just have silly jokes.
I do like what they're doing with Nora Dark, though.
Well, that's the thing. I'm hoping they're going to come to something, but I don't think we got it in the first half.
No.
Yeah.
No, but hopefully that will coalesce somehow.
Absolutely. Right, let's talk on then the characters and how they've done them. So Amaya, because it's not Amaya.
I I don't know why they felt I don't know why they felt the need to do this, because they haven't really capitalised on what I thought the plot point was going to be, which was the agony of Nate as he saw Amaya but not Amaya.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that, thank goodness, I really hope they don't turn into that, because I was really not looking forward to that episode. They just really haven't done it.
No.
So why have we not just kept the nice girl that she was for the most part in the London episode? Yeah. What was the point of bringing the Amaya actress back?
Well, that's the thing. I'm assuming there is... It was bringing the actress back, maybe because they had a contract, maybe they wanted her still in it, maybe they thought there was something to be done about having an actress that looks... or having a character that looks like a previous character, but they've not totally used... I mean, there's been bits of her sneaking in and pretending to be Amaya with an American accent, because the actress is British.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could have done that in any number of ways, so it's not been necessary.
No, I agree. I don't think any of the apart from like 2 or 3 minutes where they're referring to hiding her from Nate and then Nate having a bit of a grump at her. I don't think it's been necessary that it's been Amaya. So unless they're building some payoff up, but don't know.
Possibly so, because I'm going to have a quick look at, was Charlie actually played by someone different? Because it was episode 3 that she rocks up in. And to be fair, I quite like what she's doing.
Oh, yes.
You know, it's an interesting addition to the thing. I like using that to convince people not to kill them.
And I think second half of the season, we're going to see a lot more about the morality of just locking all the monsters up and killing them and treating them badly.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot more of that.
Yeah, no, it was a different person who played her originally. And she must have filmed this in betweening filming Bodyguard. Because she was one of the main characters in Bodyguard, it would seem.
Fair enough. I think they've done a very good job of keeping the character consistent across the actresses. Because I didn't feel a break in tone or a break in personality as she moved from one actress to the other. I think they've done a very good job with that.
Yeah, that I would agree. In fact, is it actually a different character playing the Queen, or did they just dress her? No, it was a different actress playing the Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I would agree with, and that's been quite good fun. And yeah, I like the addition of her. I like some of the jokes they're doing with her. The Britishness of her, the proper London.
All right, governor. Because that's how we all speak, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, there was one episode, and I now can't find it, but where she does a couple of things in a row of like, oh, that old blighter. Oh, what a nag. It's just, no, what?
And actually, given that both of the actresses that have this role are genuinely British, they must get the script and go, I'm sorry?
Well, I can say that. I mean, no one does, but...
So I like the character. I find it interesting, and I think they have separated her from Zari, but it's not an entirely dissimilar personality type. But that's not a problem. I like Zari. I like the centered, calmer Zari that she's become.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm interested in where we're going with Ava. And how they are, because like there's a lot more soul searching from Ava, and a lot more sort of character development happening with Ava.
Yeah.
So, you know, all of her soul searching about she doesn't really know who she is because she realises that all of her childhood memories are faked.
Yep.
That's quite interesting.
Yep.
But also like the Ava who is trying to be all bossy and serious. I feel like that's her fronting out of insecurity.
Okay.
Because you just get a bit of a push from Sarah or Mona and Nora Dark when they're locked in the cell, and she becomes a bit more human. It's like that. It's like that. Because she's feeling insecure, she has to come across as a complete cold hard ass. And it's interesting watching that. I'm liking the Ava character. I love the Ava and Sarah relationship. I think it's a nice relationship.
Yeah,
really well done. But I'm finding it interesting watching Ava grow and develop. So I'm liking that. Gary's still irritating.
Oh, yeah.
Less irritating than he was.
He's used with a very light touch now.
Thank goodness.
Which is quite nice.
Yes.
But yeah, Ava, I think, I mean, all the Time Bureau stuff is actually quite nice. Having a different set, having the possibility for two sides of a story to be told, rather than just it's on the ship and we're in their point of view, which might be part of the reason it's working better, because we're a bit more expansive now. I can't decide if I think they're going to go anywhere with Ava, or if it's just going to be light character touches as we go. Is she going to become a bigger part of the story? Maybe, because they are reminding us of it.
And they have already made her and the Time Bureau a much bigger presence in the story than they have previously. And I quite like that they've settled Nate in there, and that Nate's kind of got a grown-up job now.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying seeing the dual aspects of it. I mean, and I think they're doing that because we're going to have a Hydra-esque... my prediction is we're going to have a Hydra-esque negative.
Agreed. Yeah.
And we're using the monsters for bad deeds.
Absolutely. Something inside there that's going to turn. And
because we don't know who the evil dude is that hit Mona's bicycle when she rode into his door yet. But we know he's evil because he was mean to Mona. Yeah,
and we did see that it's the demon that's come back as Constantine's boyfriend. The very end of that 8th episode, Hank is playing golf.
Yeah.
And finds out that the thing has escaped.
Yeah, the
Hawaiian creature.
The Hawaiian creature, Mona's boyfriend.
And he turns around, he's playing golf with Constantine's boyfriend, who appears to be the demon. It's a nice setup for the second half.
It is.
Was several months away at that point.
Yeah. Tell me your thoughts about what they've done with the Constantine character. Because he is quite different, I think, from the Constantine series, while still remaining some of it, but he is quite different.
Yeah.
How is that sitting with you?
I think I'm liking it. He's a little lighter, which this show fits more. But I also like that it just accepts that there's magic-y stuff going on, and he does a bit of Latin, the Latin equivalent of the computing stuff that we talked about, and then he solves the thing, or he does a thing, and we move on. That it's a power he has. Whereas in Constantine, it was, well, I need lots of salt, and I need this thing, and I need this thing, and then I'm going to do this 8...
And I need that man's false leg.
Yes, exactly. And then, I'm going to need an hour to prepare this spell, and so on. No, it's just he says some words and fires a fireball. Yeah. Done. Great.
I must admit, I am not buying that he can say a very quick spell to stop the shapeshifter from shifting, and then he can't reverse it. Sorry, love, can't reverse it without us going back into the past and doing a big time wave.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Really, Constantine? Can you really not reverse that? I think you can.
It was a bit... Because, I mean, I can't believe it's more expensive than any of the other special effects they do on this show. So, why are they not doing that? Although, is it part of the story that she will regain her powers and do it more? Because the shapeshifter is a very useful addition to this show.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. What else? Okay, which has been your favourite monster?
I'm going to look at the list of the episodes. Because I can't even remember what the monster was on the horror one, the camp one.
Oh, it was a sort of a succubus type thing. The camp counselor who was sucking the life energy out of his kids.
Yeah.
That's not my favourite.
I mean, the doll was quite fun because they played with a couple of tropes very lightly, and it was voiced by Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, the vampire from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Right. Yes,
so there is something of that was quite nice. What was your favourite?
I quite liked the naughty fairy godmother.
Yes, yeah,
I was quite into that as a thing. Yeah,
the breaking into song every so often.
Yes,
yeah, that was nicely done.
I like that one.
Nice,
but I liked a lot of them.
And I've given you a list of the episode titles because this, I mean, all the shows do kind of puns for them, but like Arrow is very serious with its episode titles, but the rest of them are a bit more fun. This has leaned into let's do silly episode titles. Yeah. Do you have a favourite episode title?
I am really, 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 really gratified and even more in love with you than ever that you think I've retained any of those episode titles in my memory. Sorry, honey.
The Virgin Gary, Witch Hunt, Dancing Queen, Wet Hot American Bummer, Tagumo Attacks, Tender as the Nate, Hell No Dolly, Legends of Meow Meow.
Okay, as a title, Legends of Meow Meow.
Yeah, right?
Absolutely. Without question.
That is a very good title. Yeah. I will say Hell No Dolly
is good.
is quite good, particularly because I didn't realise this until I was reading a bit. They made a Martin Stein doll.
Right.
So that's the Professor Stein doll that was played by Victor Garber. And he left this series because he was in the revival of Hello Dolly.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. My gosh, that really does bring it home to me again, just how much they've changed the cast.
Yeah.
Like,
when you think it was him and Jax, and Jax only stayed an episode or two longer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rip.
Rip died.
Yeah, went with Miller.
There was a single line about Wally. Isn't he off trying to find himself?
Yeah.
Isn't that the same thing he did last year? Oh, who knows? And let's move on. But yeah, one of the things that stood out for me is that relationship. Ava in love is great. Sarah in love is great. It is adding something to this show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next half.
What do you feel about Mick and Garima? Is it amusing or is it awful? Because I literally can't decide. I waver on this from one moment to the next. I mean, at least I think they've put a third boob away.
No, I think that's still there.
Is that still there? Maybe I've just sort of blocked it out.
I think it's okay so far, because they have shown that these are just fictional things conjured out of creation, and it is very much in the creation of what they've given us on this character. So if they'd made it, she was a feminist statement, we'd be hard to buy it was his creation.
Yes.
And I also suspect this show knows it and will do something with it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's me just hoping for a positive thing to help us make up our mind.
At the moment, I am a lot more amused than outraged.
Okay.
So I think they know what they're doing, and they write him in a way that they know what they're doing. Yeah. But I'm also just a bit like, oh, this is a fairly fine line that we're walking here.
Yeah. I mean, they had her come out on the first episode where he gets the book.
Yes.
And then they were like, no, we're taking it away. And then they had to come back for the thingy of the chronology. Custodians of the chronology.
And she seems to be just around.
And she was just there then, but I think generally she's not in it as a thing. So maybe they'll bring her back and do a thing. If not, I think the light touch is going to work.
Yeah, the thing that makes me wonder if she's going to be a thing is I think I recognise the actress.
Oh, really?
And I'm not sure. She looks a bit like the lady that was Cuddy in House.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it can't possibly be her.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've seen the actress before, which makes me think, well, is she not an A-list, but an actress with some substantial history?
Yeah.
Which makes me think, are they going to use her properly?
I'm not going to look her up, because if she is in more episodes, I don't want to know.
Understood, yes.
So let's see, and if it becomes a thing, we'll revisit. Yeah.
I must say, I think Mick without Wentworth Miller, they're allowing his character to flower a bit more. He is a lot... I mean, he's still not fully three-dimensional, but he's a lot less two-dimensional than he was when he was just the sidekick to Captain Cold.
I think a little bit like Ray, he's got one joke and they're doing it.
Mm.
And it's working because they're not doing it too much, and there are situations it comes out, but I think these characters who have been on it the longest, other than Sarah, because they've given her a relationship and they've given her things to do as captain, no one else has a purpose there. Ray doesn't actually serve a purpose, which is a shame.
I think they're holding Ray in abeyance until hopefully his purpose comes together with Nora Dark.
Yeah.
Because Nora Dark is a much more interesting character than Ray. Ray's a bit... They've turned him into a bit of a puppy dog.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Okay. Any other comments? Okay. I'm going to tell you about Arrow, episodes 4 to 6.
Let me sit back. Get my glass of wine.
Which could have been episode 3. These episodes do not need to exist. They are spinning their wheels and just reinforcing the point. Diaz is bad. Diaz is going after big things to try and blow stuff up. The team are in a bit of disarray, although at the end of episode 6 they came together to solve the problem and stop Diaz, and they've captured Diaz. So there is a thing of...
Really?
Well, they've captured him.
Okay.
That's as far as we are. So, episode 4 had a nice dual torture thing going on. Remember I said Oliver was sent down to the extreme level of the prison?
Yep, because he was looking for someone, wasn't he?
Absolutely. He was being tortured, but by a psychologist. So, similar torture to what Felicity was doing on the silencer that they'd captured.
Okay.
The longbow hunter that they'd captured. but with this guy trying to break him and make him believe he's an inmate. He's not Oliver Queen anymore. He's just an inmate. But some actually quite interesting conversations about the fact that the last thing he remembers of his father is his father killing his own bodyguard and then shooting himself in the head. And that his father, you remember at the very opening of the show?
I didn't watch it season 1.
Oh, you didn't?
I only came in about season 3.
Okay, so the Queen's Gambit, their ship goes down. They're on a life raft, and it's Oliver and his father's bodyguard. And his father's like, there's no way to survive. There's not enough supplies for all of us, so we need to change things. He gives him the book of all the names of bad things going on in Starling City. And shoots his bodyguard and shoots himself so that Oliver can survive. And they actually dig into that of like, your father was a murderer and you saw it. Don't you think your son's going to see that you've been a murderer and what's going to happen? You know,
okay,
that could go to an interesting place. It doesn't. Just so we're clear. He ends up rebelling against him, being like, my name is Oliver Queen.
You have failed this city.
Yeah, because he's trying to convince him I am inmate 4587.
So it's a bit like The Prisoner.
But they have an interesting back and forth with the torture of the girl trying to get information so they can stop Diaz. So that was nice. And there's some interesting stuff going on in the future with Roy and William getting to Star City. They meet old Dinah and Renee's daughter, whose name I don't know. I'm sorry. Who is also now a vigilante. The city appears to have gone to terribleness. There are people living in the Glades who won't let anyone in, and it's now the Glades as the sort of positive side of the city.
Okay.
Felicity seems to be leading them there, and at the end of episode 6, they appear to have uncovered plans to blow up the rest of the city than the Glades, and it's possibly Felicity, but Felicity is dead. So they're not quite sure what's being led on there. There's clearly more revelations to come. Okay.
Is it just still continually miserable and convoluted?
A little bit. So the rest of the team is all keeping secrets from each other, forcing each other to do things they don't necessarily want to do. Diggle forcing Curtis back into the field, although Curtis doesn't want to be in the field because he wants to use his 14 PhDs.
How can he have 14 PhDs
That's
without being
PhDs
about
work.
50?
Exactly. That was a ridiculous line, an unnecessary line, although possibly poking fun because Bruce Banner in Ragnarok says he has 7 PhDs, which again is not how PhDs work.
No.
There was a nice thing there of Curtis getting back his belief in going back into the field and so on. There's a possible Hydra shield thing going on with Argus. So that could be an interesting thing coming. But by and large, it's tracking down Diaz. They've caught Diaz and they're arranging with the FBI to trade Diaz for Oliver and possibly get Oliver out. So I think the next 2 episodes will probably be big and explosive. Laurel is becoming good. She is not good, but is finding her own way to go. And she has even done a talk about no one is black and white, evil or good. Everyone has shades and decisions they make, and these are the decisions I'm making.
And is she still better than pathetic Laurel from the first
She is much better.
Seasons?
I'm really enjoying her, because she is fighting for Oliver. Oliver then, but in a legal way, she's filing motions and trying to get him out, and she's the one arranging this exchange. And Oliver even rejected her. He said, you stay away from Felicity, I don't want your help, you need to stop doing this. And she is still helping. She has said, I'm going to show you that I'm making the right decisions and move on.
Okay.
So that's okay. But these episodes I don't think were needed. I think there were plot details in here that will be important, but the rest of it we could have skipped over. So
thank you for taking one for the team.
That's okay. I'm hoping the next 2 we're going to come to a little bit more of a sort of conclusion on and move things on. I think Diaz is not a thing for the whole season.
Good.
So I think he will then be a step to whatever comes next.
Good, because I think I'm over even hearing about Diaz, even though I don't have to watch the episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Excellent.
So next is The Flash.
Yay!
We've been saving that because I'm very excited to see what happens with The Flash's daughter.
Yeah.
In inverted commas, what happens there. We were set up in a bit of a world reset for The Flash, I think. Everything seemed to be good. They solved the problems and moved on. Was it the Thinker last season?
Oh yes. Yeah. The weird weirdo with the big chair
but
and the head
Flash's
things.
daughter has changed the past and was hinted at through the season, and now she says, I've made a change and things are broken. So I'm hoping might be some interesting 2 time zone stuff going on, back and forth, learning things that we didn't know and seeing things from different perspectives we didn't see.
How does the Flash changing history interact with the Legends of Tomorrow changing the timeline?
It doesn't. I mean, I think it's just different people changing history, and the Flash doesn't as
Fair
much
enough.
as they can. But he has not changed anything that has changed the Legends.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Flash.
I am. Yeah. Good. So that wraps us up for another week. If you have thoughts, questions, or comments, you can use the hashtag ATAV on Twitter, or you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as Eloquent Gushing. If you want to help support us, please check out our Patreon page where you can get access to exclusive content across all our shows. Go to patreon.com/eloquentgushing. And don't forget to visit the homepage, eloquentgushing.com, where you can find the other shows across the network and subscribe to our weekly newsletter with all the goings on. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you across the Arrowverse.
Across the Arrowverse is an Eloquent Gushing production. For more shows you'll love, please visit eloquentgushing.com.